Here I am sitting in the 2016 Mazda Miata with a manual transmission. Now everybody wants a manual transmission in a Miata, right? Well, most of the time, right, but look ahead. There's traffic. So you got to shift from first to second to neutral, stop and go, blah, blah, blah. But this is a sports car, so a manual transmission's always better, right? Well, no, not necessarily. It would certainly be a lot easier if I could just keep it in drive and not have to shift in situations like this. But really, that's not the only argument for an automatic transmission. In some of today's quickest sports cars, you actually have an automatic, so to speak. Sometimes it's dual clutch, but still it's an automatic. Check out the Nissan GTR that I've reviewed. Well, that one has an automatic transmission, and it's quicker than just about everything on the road. Ferrari's F1 shifting cars, well, they are extremely quick with the shifting. They can shift, downshift, match revs quicker than any human, even Schumacher, can do. So, you know, they are really, really advanced, and in most cases, they can shift better than a human. So, really, this argument about, well, you got to have a manual transmission in a sports car is a little bit outdated, and quite frankly, it's wrong. I happen to own a bunch of cars, and some of those cars are automatic and some of them are manual. Now, in a vintage sports car, yeah, you probably want the manual transmission, like my old Porsche 911 SC. Yeah, that one's great with a manual transmission, but it's not the quickest shifting car in the world, certainly not. Austin Healey Sprite that I own, you can check out my review of these online, by the way. That one is great with the manual transmission. You feel like you're in the mid-1960s in that car, and that's exactly how you want to feel. But let's take the Porsche 928, for example. Well, the one I had, I actually sold it, but that one was an automatic, and I spoke actually to a Porsche dealer back in the 80s when the 928 was for sale, as well as the 911. And you know what he said? He said, you know, it's got so much torque that he would have it in an automatic because it's a grand touring car. It's about driving, sure, but it's also about traveling. And traveling is easier with an automatic transmission. And the car's plenty quick with an automatic transmission. That big V8 Porsche engine, very nice. But at the same time, somebody checking out my Porsche 928 video also said, well, they turned it off when they saw it was automatic. So you have a lot of people with a lot of attitude about it, and a lot of people get into it into the comment sections in many of the cars I review, and it's kind of funny to read it, you know, because people are just so hell-bent on, oh, it's got to be a manual transmission car. But in reality, it doesn't. Technology has advanced so far these days, it just doesn't matter anymore. The automatic transmissions, for instance, the Porsche PDK dual clutch, or even Volkswagen's dual clutch that you can find in several Volkswagens, like the GTI and the GLI, excellent transmissions. Very, very good. And not to mention the Ferrari or the Nissan GTRs. These are all really, really excellent automatic boxes, and they'll be quicker than you. So don't be so insistent and close-minded about today's automatic transmissions, and even the automatic transmissions of the past. You know, not everyone is going to drive on a track every second of the day. You know, cars are also to get you from point A to point B, and there's a lot of big cities and there's a lot of congestion in the United States and around the world. So the automatic transmission is actually excellent to have in many cases, and in many cases you don't even sacrifice speed. Now again, I love shifting. I own several cars that have a manual transmission, like my Audi TT, which is really my daily driver. Check that one out. But at the same time, you know, give a person a break when he has an automatic box in a Porsche 928. It's not such a bad thing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'm Drivin Ivan.